This video will explain the distributive property and how to distribute, and it follows along with the independent practice sheet. So the distributive property is a property in math that allows you to simplify in a specific way. So what you do is you multiply the terms inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. So an example of the distributive property would be something like this: 2, and then in parentheses, 3x plus 4. So what the distributive property is saying is that we're going to multiply 3x and 4 by the number outside the parentheses, which is the 2. So we're going to do 2 times 3x, and we're going to do 2 times 4. This part you can do in your head. You don't need to write that step every time. So 2 times 3x is 6x plus 2 times 4 is 8. These are not like terms. Thinking back to the previous day's notes on combining, 6x and 8x are not like terms, so this is your answer. So some distributive property problems can be quite complicated. So there's a couple of steps that will simplify this process for you. So the first step is to change subtracting to adding the opposite, like we talked about last time. Second step is to distribute, which is what we just did in the previous example. And then the final step is to combine like terms if you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the example down here. There's actually only 3 steps, so you can change that. Sorry about that. All right, so the first one, 6 times a is 6a, plus 6 times 8 is 48. Those are not like terms, so we are done. The next one, 3 times negative 5n is negative 15n, plus, and then 3 times 7 is 21. Those are not like terms, so we are done. The next one has the number that you're going to distribute at the end. So it doesn't matter if it's at the end or at the beginning of the parentheses, you're still going to distribute. So 2 times 9m is 18m, plus 2 times 10 is 20. Those are not like terms, so that's your answer. Next one, I see a minus sign, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to plus negative 6. And then here's a negative x. There's no number in front of that x. If it helps you to write a 1 there, then go ahead and do that. So now I have 5 times negative 1x, which is negative 5x. And 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. So you could write it like this, or you could say negative 5x minus 30. Next one, I have a minus sign, so I'm going to change it to adding negative 1. So 4 times y is 4y, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, or I could say 4y minus 4. Next one, I have a minus sign, so I'm going to change it to plus negative, and remember that's like negative 1y. So 2 times 4m is 8m, plus 2 times negative 1y is negative 2y, plus 2 times 3 is 6. Or I could change it to 8m minus 2y plus 6. Sorry, I'll scoot that over so you can see. All right, next page. So I have a couple of minus signs. So I'm going to change it to plus negative 9 and plus negative 10. Then I'm going to distribute. You only distribute the 2 to what's in the parentheses. So 2 times 4x is 8x plus 2 times negative 9 is negative 18, and then I just write the negative 10 at the end. I'm done distributing, but this is not my final answer yet because negative 18 and negative 10 are like terms. So 8x is by itself, and then negative 18 plus negative 10 is negative 28, or you could say 8x minus 28. Next one, I have a minus sign, so I'm going to change it to plus negative 4. So 3x times 2x is 6xx, but a better way to write that would be to write 6x squared. And then 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x, or I could write 6x squared minus 12x. Okay, the last one, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm sorry, the next one. The number that I'm distributing is the 4. The 5 is not being distributed because it's not directly touching the parentheses. So I'm going to bring down the 5 for later. Now I'm going to distribute. So 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times 1 is 4. I'm not done yet because 5 and 4 are like terms. So 9 plus 12x would be my final answer. All right, 2 more. This is where it becomes very important to do your changing minus signs to add in the opposite. This is plus negative 7 and plus negative 4. Again, the 10 is not being distributed, so I'm going to bring that down for later. And then negative 7 times 2x is negative 14x. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28, but I'm not done because 10, and 28 are like terms. So my final answer would be 38 plus negative 14x, or you could simplify that and say 38 minus 14x. All right, the last one here is quite a few minus signs. So plus, negative, plus negative, plus negative, plus negative. The number that I'm distributing to the parentheses is the 2. So I'm going to bring down the 9 for later. So then I have negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Negative 2 times negative 7y is positive 14y. And I'm done distributing, but then I'm going to bring down this negative 5 at the end. All right, now I have to look for like terms. So 9 has no variable, 12 has no variable, and negative 5 have no variable. So altogether, that is negative 8. Altogether that is 16. And negative 2x does not have a like term, so plus negative 2x. And 14y does not have a like term, so that would be your final answer.